Hello, hello, this is Prophet AmbiGlow, and I have a really quick word for somebody. I was in my secret place with God this morning, and he said that I could release it because it's an instruction for somebody else also. And so I'm going to give you the scripture, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. So the scripture that, my anchor scripture, the anchor scripture that God had me go to, and he has me reading out in Amplified, is James 4:7. So submit to the authority of God, resist the devil, stand firm against him, and he will flee from you. Okay, and so in my private time today, when I was talking with God, I was like, he's really restoring me in this hour and healing me in parts that I thought would not ever be healed. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be very transparent and honest with you. He's healing me and restoring me in places that I had no idea it was so damaged. Like it was so damaged. But he has been doing that. And so like I'm growing and I'm learning things. But he said he brought a memory back to my mind, and then he said, do you remember when? And there was this one time, I'm gonna just tell you what it is. There was this one time where it was me and an old best friend, and we were walking down the street. We were just walking. We were just like walking, talking, trying to, be healthy, right? We were just walking down the street, and this like crazy dog came up behind us. It was a stray, and I know some people who are dog lovers, they're like, oh, it wasn't crazy. Nah, this one probably had rabies because it had a little bit of the foam at the mouth. You know what I'm talking about? Had a little bit of the foam at the mouth. It was like out of nowhere, just ran up to us from behind and was like barking like crazy, like he wanted to attack. And so my friend, she almost ran, and I was like, do not run, y'all. And I kid you not, we were in middle school, so I'm like, what, 13, something like that. Like we're just walking down the road, and I'm like 13, we're like 13 or something, 13, 14, something like that. And she was about to run, and I was like, do not run because if she would have ran, he would have chased us. And I've been chased by dogs before, and I have ran. So I knew this time I had learned from my sister to not run. So I was like, okay, I have to be the one to do this because it was just us two. She almost ran. I said, do not run. And then I stood there and I stared. I literally like stood up, and you have to make yourself look big. Okay. So I like, I buffed up, right? And I was like, get, and I had to keep shouting it, right? I shouting at it. And so I'm standing there and I'm like, get. And like, he's barking, and then, but he stops. He doesn't chase us anymore. And he stops, and then he kind of like slows down on barking, but I'm just trying to make myself look big. And I'm just like, get back. And then eventually we're like slowly walking away, right? We're slowly walking away. And my friend, she was like, oh my gosh. Like she was trying not to scream. And I was on the inside, I was just like, oh my gosh, if she messed this up, like we gonna be in trouble and this dog gonna attack us. But I had to stay and show him that I was not afraid. I had to show him that I was not afraid. And so you have to make yourself look bigger. And, oh, Jesus. And God, in my private time, after he said, do you remember that? He said, do you remember when you had to get that dog to back up? And I was like, yeah, Lord. And he said, in the same way that you had to tell that dog to get, and he stood and he didn't attack you, you have to do that same thing to the enemy. Yo, I don't know who that's for. But you have to stand firm. Make yourself look big. Look, I'm not afraid of you because I have God on my side, because God is with me, because God is always with me. And he says that all the time throughout the Bible. Do not be afraid. I am with you. Okay. So you have to stand firm. And then he brought me to, of course, Ephesians 6:11. I just want to read it straight from the Amplified Bible. Put on the full armor of God, for his precepts are like the splendid armor of a heavenly armed soldier, so that you may be able to successfully stand up against all the schemes and the strategies and the deceits of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, contending only with physical opponents, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly supernatural places. And that was actually 11 and 12. But stand firm, put on your full armor, and you can't be scared. You can't show the devil that you're scared, because he can just play with you. He'll just play with your mind. You can't show that the devil that you're scared. So when you put on the full armor, you have to know, okay, God is with me. I'm not just fighting by myself. God is with me, and I need to do what I got to do. And it's not a physical battle. This is a spiritual battle. So when you're standing firm and you saying in the spirit, when you praying and you're in your secret place and you're warring, you have to look, it's like, devil, you cannot try me. You cannot, and you will not. And you have to have that like mentality for real. You have to have that mentality for real. And then you're going to back away slowly. It says stand firm and he will flee from you. He's not gonna I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, and y'all can probably testify. He doesn't give up easy. Okay, he does not give up easy. He gonna try a few times, like that dog. He gonna try to bark and get me scared. But as you stand firm and make yourself look big, and then you slowly figure, okay, now it's safe for me to back away and try to walk away. That's when you back away and walk away. Eventually, the dog, the enemy, the devil, he'll turn around and flee. That's what happened with Jesus in the wilderness. He tried 3 different times. I'm about to hold up 4, but we ain't going to talk about that. He tried 3 different times, and eventually he left him for another appointed time. Y'all, that's crazy, because he came back. He was waiting for another time. So he was going to plan to come back. But that's all for this word. Whoever this is for, take it back to God. And I pray that it gives you strength. Stand firm. Stand firm. Do not let the devil see that you're afraid. Do not fear. God says do not fear, because that's when the devil can play with your mind. Okay? I love you. So if you feel led, mentoring and coaching sessions are now available. I have them all in the description below. If you are not comfortable with doing a mentoring or coaching session yet, I definitely suggest buying my book, just so you know that I am qualified to talk about the things that are listed in like the little description of my page, but also just so you have a feel like I'm here just for encouragement. I've been through a lot of things, even though I'm young. I guess people would look at me and be like, oh yeah, she's real young. I'm 26, but I have been through a lot of things without God and with God. And the way he has restored me and redeemed me, baby, I testify that I serve God only. So I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.